Hey everybody, so this is the second week of the four-part series. And if you haven't seen the first video, definitely check that out first. Last week we taught you how to play a drum beat to fit the play along. This week we're going to teach you how to play a fill for each level. So don't forget too that there's a free PDF file you can download in the description. That way you can read all the notation, you can check out all three levels, see which level fits your playing the best. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's get started with level one. This week we're going to add a drum fill on the eighth measure. So last week we did the drum beat and we practiced that with the music for 32 measures. This week we're going to shorten it. We're just going to do 8 measures. We're going to do 7.5 measures of the drum beat, and on the last half of the eighth measure we're going to add a drum fill. So the drum beat is just going to be 1 and 2 and. We're going to leave the bass drum out on the end of 2. So it'll sound like this: 1 and 2 and then 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. So 4/16 on beat 3, 4/16 on beat 4, and then ending on the hi-hat and the bass on beat 1. All right, now let's put that whole last measure together. Half a measure of the drum beat, half a measure of the fill with the 16th notes. Then we're going to hit beat 1 and loop that a couple times, so practice along with me at 60 beats per minute. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2, 3 and 4. And 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Last time. 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. It's great practice if you can count that aloud. It's pretty tricky to count the eighth notes and then the 16th, but so helpful to be able to do it. Let's speed it up to 90 beats per minute and do the same thing. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Last time. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. All right, so now what you want to do is play along with the track. It's going to be faster at 110 beats per minute. And like I said before, it's only 8 measures and really 9 measures with the hit on beat 1. And then you're going to loop that 3 or 4 times. So you're going to play with the music. There's going to be a hit on the 1, and then the music will start over again. So just keep playing with it. Just work on your groove, your time, keep that really even. And then next week, we're going to add your own beat, and the week after that, your own fill. So have fun with it, and happy practicing. We'll see you next week.
One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, so let's check out level 2. This week we're going to show you a new fill. This is a really fun drum fill. Last week we learned the drum beat. We practiced that with the track for 32 measures. This week we're going to shorten the track to just 9 measures. It's going to be 7 measures with the drum beat, the 8th measure on the fill, and then the 9th measure you're just going to hit the hi-hat and the bass drum on beat 1. And then that's going to loop a couple times. So let's get started with the main fill. It's going to be a pattern of one snare, 1 small tom, and then 3 floor toms. Then you're going to do that again, 1 snare, 1 small tom, 3 floor toms, then 2 small toms, 2 floor toms, ending the next measure on beat 1 with the hi-hat and the bass. So let's practice that together. We're going to do it at 40 beats per minute a couple times. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and 4 E and a 1 2 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Now let's try the same thing at 65 beats per minute. 1 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 2 3 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Now the last step is to try it at 90 beats per minute. Here we go. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and 4 E and a 1 2 3 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 2 3 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Great. Now you can do that. Let's try playing the measure before with the drum beat. 1 2 3 4. 1 2 E and a 3 and 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 2. Great, once you can do that, now try playing that same thing with the play-along track. So it's going to be 7 measures, full drum beat, 8th measure with the drum fill, and then the 9th measure just on the beat 1. And with the play-along track is going to do that for 3 or 4 times. So have fun with it. Next week, we're going to try adding your own drum beat. I'll give you some ideas for that. And the week after, your own drum fill. So have fun with it, and we'll see you next week.
One, two, three, four. 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4.
2-measure drum beat for 32 measures. This week we're going to shorten it. We're just going to do 9 measures. We're going to do 7 measures of the drum beat. So the 7th measure will be the first half of the 2-measure beat, and then the 8th measure is going to be the drum fill, and then the 9th measure we're going to hit the hi-hat and the bass drum. So let me break it down for you it's going to be a pattern twice. You're going to go snare, small tom, floor tom, kick, come back to the snare for a flam. Then repeat that again, snare, small tom, floor tom, kick, snare with the flam. 2 small toms, 2 floor toms, hi-hat and bass drums starting the next measure on beat 1. So let's try it at 65 beats per minute. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and 4E and a 1. Now we're going to try it at 90 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and 4E and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and 4E and a 1. So now let's try it with the 7th measure of the drum beat, 8th measure of the fill. I'm going to leave out the last 16th. So because I want to keep the sound of the main fill. If you add the duh on the snare, it's going to make it sound like the fill starts on the duh. So you could do that if you want, but for now let's just leave that out and we'll play just the full measure of the fill. So both measures together, 7th and 8th measure. 9th measure with the hi-hat and the bass on beat 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1E and 2 and a 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1E and 2 and a 3 and a 4. So the next step is speeding it up to 110 beats per minute, then try playing along with the track. And like I said, it's just going to be a total of 9 measures, 7 measures of the drum beat, 1 measure of the fill, and then the 9th measure you're hitting the hi-hat and the bass drum, and then that's going to loop a couple times. It's going to be like 3 or 4 times. So you'll just keep practicing that with the fill and the drum beat. Next week will be fun. We're going to try adding your own drum beat to it. The week after that will be your own fill. So have fun with it, and we'll see you next time.
1, 2, 3, 4.